So, okay, guys, this is gonna be a trade recap. My today's trade recap on CL. I shorted CL today, and obviously, mainly always starting from the daily chart. I gave this in my outlook in 2 days ago that going into Monday, I would be concerned about this relevant swing staying there. Next swing is too far away, so this is the only thing I'm concerned with. Price opening in close proximity. मैं मार चला दूंगा आजा मैंने गंदी वाली मार चलानी है आपको fast very fast internet. Okay, price opening in a close proximity to a relevant swing where a protected swing could form, but price could truly displace through it as well. So I had two plans going into Monday for CL and other assets at the same time. Let me show you other assets as well. This has had the framework to long till here, and HO had already reached. So all three correlated assets HO had already reached. RB and CL were yet to reach this relevant level. So I could long CL and RB because the objective was still open in it. If I would get an opportunity which I was already assuming I would not get to long till here, it would go without me. So then I made a plan. If this, then that. Like if bearish, I would want to see this getting manipulated, followed by immediate run back inside the range. Right? This would come inside the case of reversal forming off of a relevant swing. So then I can look to the opposing side, right? And the other case, if this displaces through this, shows lack of willingness to return back inside, and again starts to displace through this, then I would frame it as a true breakout over here, failure to manipulate this high, and so framing the contraction in the same direction. Won't have a like proper fixed draw, just maybe using standard deviations for it. Like I wouldn't expect it to go all the way till there the same day, but just framing the continuation in the intraday range. So these were the two ideas. Same idea for RB, same idea for HO. Relevant swing opening in price opening in close proximity to a relevant swing. So either if it shows me immediate return back inside the range, then framing it as a reversal off of relevant swing. If it shows lack of willingness to return back inside the range and starts displacing aggressively away from it, then I would frame it as a failure to manipulate this swing, and then would frame continuations in the intraday range with the idea of daily time frame displacing through this relevant swing. So framing the intraday continuation. So for bullish, I would want to see displacement through this. For bearish, I would want to see immediate return back inside. I did frame a short today on CL. Two assets which I wanted to short were CL and HO. RB was not in my books today, even though it did. But if I could have a better asset, why not pick it? Like not much, but my preference was CL. I was preferring CL and HO to short back inside the range. Now going on to the low time framework, I talked about what I was expecting previously going into the day. Now then this much displacement back inside, this is already a kind of uh, reversal candidate for me, like dragging the range high, immediately returning back inside. This is a reversal candidate for me. Makes me look to the opposing side. But I'm not thinking this gets reached the same day, so I'm just using 2 hour and standard deviations. So I got a 3 hour trade today. One more thing which I would like to add is I did use the EQ logic of previous day's range to confirm my idea much more. Like if even if it wanted to go bullish, this level would have been would act as a validation or invalidation. Once this gets displaced through, I do have much more conviction heading towards here. I don't want to pick it here, as it could return back a bit and then start to displace again higher, forming the bullish narrative. So there were low time frame entry models in there, but I was having zero idea of the narrative, bullish or bearish, right? So when I don't have much conviction with narrative, I do wait. When I do have much conviction, I do frame entries early. So I wouldn't have thought of framing entries in here. These worked, yes, because the day was meant to be bearish, which I could not have known prior to it, talking realistically. So I'm better off taking much more continuation setups when the draw is already obvious and not forcing the draw. This should happen. Okay, this is happening. Let me trade with it, because even if it wanted to, it would have gone higher off of this as well. Like tagging it, returning a bit back, then immediately displacing away. That would 100% count as a true breakout framework. Turning back inside, immediately displacing away. So I was wanting to see 10 a.m. align with my idea and not start to displace again higher, and trade along with the reversal idea of this, trade away from it, give me a H4 OHLC candle. Okay, so I was not waiting for EQ. I am still like staying cautious about it, but 10 a.m. is more of a framework for me. Like best time to go higher would have been off of here. 10 a.m. sweeps previous candles low, because I can't see established reversal already printed in here. So 10 a.m. sweeps it, sweeps current low of the day unestablished and forms a reversal into the perfect key level already reached, and then starts displacing higher. So if bearish, I would have wanted it. I would have wanted 10 a.m. to not form a OLHC, not displace higher from here. Instead, kind of roam and displace through it, telling me, okay, this is not showing relevance here, so I can at least frame around EQ and levels resting around EQ, even if my idea is wrong. But this is not the level supposed to make it go higher. This would confuse you off of the H4 chart. Let me use the other charts at the same time. Okay, but this is already a reversal signature to me, but still I'm using 10 a.m. H4's profiling to my advantage, right? And this H4, right? This was it. Okay, no worries. I'm paying attention to it, how price reacted, but I could use this H1's swing here or use that H4, both valid. Then I'm profiling the H4 candle, how it is reacting to there. Best spot to go higher, and the last line of support was here. So 10 a.m. comes. I have no idea till here. It could go long, it could go short. Like this isn't much of a framework for me. This is telling me nothing. So I'm still into the waiting mode. Then comes this, still not completely invalidated or validated. If the next candles expand, this could be reversal off of here. If the next candles come back below, this could be failure to manipulate this, then framing continuation. So still not confirmed, but kind of framework, yes. So you can see price going here, and once it starts displacing away, then this is the kind of framework for me to partake Then aligning that with 10 a.m. open high low close idea, this level which was supposed to sponsor the move higher, it's failing to frame a reversal off of there. Instead, price is displacing through it, showing lack of willingness to return back inside it, and again displacing through it. This is a true breakout idea. And then I align it with H4 candles profile, aligning with the daily profile. 10 m open high low close, 10 m open high. We had a SMT there as well, adding to my confidence or adding confidence. I did not pronounce adding as aiding. I meant AIDING. Okay, don't think otherwise. So this is good of a framework for me to capitalize on, and so I took this 10 m continuation entry on the M5, trusting this as a protected high, established high of the 10 m H4 with the framework of it displacing through this relevant level. This is not based on the M5. I am just showing it on the M5 to you, and then aligning with the daily's reversal idea off of that range high. So 10 m open high low close, clear protected swing, enough ranged opposing leg, cream closer soon, too good of a framework for me to partake. So I took my entry around there, not exactly there, a point above. This is 68.07. I took around 60. मैंने मार्च डाली है, ये क्या हो रहा है? My entry was 68.08, like 1 point higher. This was my entry with trusting this as a protected high, parceling around there. This is resting, EQ is resting around 2 hour. So even if I get wrong and EQ gets respected, I could still get a 2 hour trade, right? And then just holding runners to standard deviation targets because I am framing daily reversal and a kind of relevant swing in the intraday range. Nothing, not much you should be paying attention, but kind of you can say forced, but still I'm trading towards here, but I am not expecting this candle to expand all the way till there the same day. So kind of more into scaling than trailing. So that's why I booked there my rest position, and this was my position, and around there, not exactly at 2, but 1 2 point lower. This was my position, hence. आंखों ही आंखों में रहेगा गुपशुप. Same framework, range high manipulation framing away from a protected swing. Same H4 framing this singular 10 m H4 candle, framing towards here, focusing more on the high time frames for the narrative, then aligning low time frame with their idea, and not the other way around. I'm always starting from daily and H4, then aligning the low time frame with that direction. Same failure to manipulate here, framing 10 m H4 away from it. Then entry part got filled here, partial around EQ, I guess, and then to standard deviation, I told a 1 2 point lower than it. So I took full off there, partial around EQ around here. I do not exactly remember. Then TP'd full around here. This was my only position from today. I wanted to frame gold, but did not get the quite willing, or you can say much convictional framework. So I did not force. I let it go, and I let indices go without me as well. This was a much clean, simple, and obvious setup. That should be your focus. Clean, obvious looking setups, clean draw, clean high time framework. You would stay out of anxiety, bad trades automatically. Clean, simple looking, no, nothing, this, that. just one direction from the higher time frame, and then defining or aligning everything in that direction. Okay, I made plan from higher time frame, what I need to do or what I need to look for, where I need to look for. Okay, if this then that, then I'm just going with my approach. So no anxiety, no FOMO. I know what to look for, where to look for. I'm not even in the fear of missing out. Okay, I know my system. If it does not give me, I would not take. If it is not giving me entries, it is instead telling me to avoid, which is which is a good sign that the projection isn't quite favorable. So you better not stay break even than take a bad loss. So any doubts in this breakdown? मैं वो टूल हटाता हूँ, टूल हटाओ। और क्या मार्क करा था मैंने? आंखों ही आंख, okay, this and one simple thing, but not much of relevance when you are framing a reversal of here. But why not if I can frame the better asset? RB had a kind of protected swing. I wasn't much like I could have still framed RB, but when I do have the opportunity to frame towards the assets with failure swings and one asset with a protected swing, I would prefer the one with failure swing, which were HO and CL. And you can see those two assets moved much lower than RB, right? HO and CL are almost there, so why not? Yes, if the narrative is poised to be bearish, RB would move bearish as well. But why not if I can frame the better asset? Why not? So not something of a much worry, but simply I do have the choice to frame the better asset. I would frame the better asset. Okay, so I would say proper walkthrough of my thought process today and breakdown of my idea top to bottom. And let me know if you people have any more doubts over it. Whoa, not exactly based off of asset selection, but I just like looked on it for just a second. I was, even though RB did not have a protected swing, I was still not gonna frame RB. Why? I was wanting to frame 10 AM, right? If I have a look at 10 AM here, right? Why not watch it here? 10 AM is here. Where? I'm not gonna trust any of these highs found past 10 AM. So even if RB did not have a protected high below, I would still not have framed RB. I could not trust these. Same thing for HO. Oh, आंखों ही आंखों। आज मेरे सॉफ्ट गाने का कल ऑपरेशन अगर उसने बोल दिया ना सॉफ्ट गाने निकल जाएंगे मेरे। Same thing. I could not trust any of these highs. HO, you could, not saying exactly, you could maybe, but when CL has a too obvious clean setup, why would you like trying to make the condition worse for you? This could be considered, but when CL has simple and clearly better framework here, why not simply frame it? High resistance clearly over 10 had an SMT there as well. Why not clean displacement closer to enough of a range, enough of a framework, brother. HO could have been considered, but I had the opportunity to select the right asset and I did. Mhm. Yes, 100%. Make it so easy because I put so much emphasis on narrative than just the entry models. Most people just focus on entry models regardless of narrative and then make things worse for themselves. I am very selective. I do wait a lot if the narrative is not clear to me, and I am aggressive as well if narrative is clear to me. It is all about high time frame narrative. Entry model is just the last step for the like last 1 2 minutes. You should do everything to get better at framing narrative, confirming narrative, invalidating narrative, how to frame narrative. Which one? सीएल की बात कर रहे हो आप? 30 मिनट एमवीजी मेरे को क्यों नहीं दिखा है? This one, nope, I won't take. Where would your stop placement be? And I would not have known if 10M would form an OHLC there or not. That's why I'm using it to my advantage and letting it print a little bit and not in a desperation to trade early, frame entries early. I am wanting to see how it reacts there. This is a relevant level on H1 or H4 price. How is it reacting there? Then using the low time frame framework to align it with the singular high time frame candle. But when you would be entering at the M30 FVG, I do not know anything from this. So narrative is not simply clear. If narrative is not clear for me, I never go to the entry part. You have seen me being very selective. You have seen rarely seen me very aggressive because past days did not had quite a good framework to me for me to get aggressive. So you had seen me being very selective because I'm most of the times waiting for narrative for in order to get clarity in the narrative. And for that reason, I would let the move go without me to gather more info. I would rather catch this little move with alignment of narrative than instead of catching this much move without the alignment of narrative. Because this little move is more high probable, gives me my edge than this big move. Get it now? And even if you had proper conviction in narrative, where would your stop placement be? Logical stop placement. Tell me, here, where? So, not a valid entry, I would say. One thing which you should learn from my sessions is how I am waiting, how I am using everything to align to get clarity in narrative, all for the high time frame. Most of the time, I am on the waiting mode. And that entry was not just based off of reaction of the 30-minute FVG, that was based off of the daily range continuing through a relevant level which could have made price go bullish. So I wasn't concerned about price tapping 30-minute FVG, bearish FVG or not. I was instead seeing price failing to manipulate a level from where a bullish manipulation could occur. इसमें बताऊं अगर price failing to manipulate a level where a bullish manipulation could occur. If it is failing to manipulate, that means it is gonna continue through this. That was my framework, and not because there was a FVG there. This FVG is of less relevance to me here. This is of more relevance. Get it now? Fast, fast. Any more doubts? अभी पानी पी लेता, सुबह पीने नहीं देना चोर ने। एक सेकंड दो भाई। So you, well, if you can, you have good. I hope your doubt is answered now, right? So you can use, if it is still not answered, you can tell me what problem you are facing. So you can use protected swings as targets. Hmm, like you may be viewing it in a wrong way. Like protected swing till when? Like see, I just explained 10-15 minutes ago.
Your mic is off.
भाई इसको ऑन करा था मैंने भाई. Okay. I I first said if you have any doubts, still have any doubts, tell me. I will go over it, but I do think I would have solved most of your doubts. And trading towards protected swing, there are ways to it, and it is situational. Like one case, oh मैं मार चलाऊंगा. I just talked about Wednesday's long framework, right? On NQ, right? This day long. That moment, I was assuming this as protected to frame away, right? Frame away from it. But protected till when? And even if the objective is met, there is a way I could still trade towards protected swings, framing the move back inside as a retracement using EQ of the ranges. But if there is a manipulation there, then this becomes my objective. Then I am framing reversal off of there. Then this is the opposing objective to me, right? Depends on the case. I could not properly tell currently, but give me a moment. Whoa. Okay, see this. This was the framework I was using to short till there when it was live market conditions, right? But it is still a high swept there. But when I would be framing it here, would I pay attention to this getting swept? No, because I am framing reversal off of here. And this is just a relevant swing to me, right? So depends on the cases. But still, if you get a chance to frame an asset with failure swings, then you can use the asset selection logic to your advantage. But if narrative is supposed to be bullish, then the highs or lows which look protected, that would be met as well. Depends on the high time framework. If you are framing reversal off of there, then any bullish, any high would get reached as well. If the narrative is bullish, any high won't be protected. right? If you could still frame bearish, then protected highs could stay protected. Like, I don't exactly remember to whom I did told, but I did tell somebody that if the next month or it this month, okay, if price goes lower off of there, then we could expect it going till there or here. But if it expands through this, then all-time high is on the line. Many things were there. Low time frame H4 true breakout over this relevant swing, clean relevant swing. First thing for it, you can clearly see price reaching an objective, not reversing off of here, coming back instead and immediately displacing away, displacing through this failure to manipulate, which means continuation here, right? One thing, and if you have a look, this would have been a criteria candidate for monthly OHLC. See, May's open here, May open high into this monthly fair value gap, whatever you want to say, but profiling is more of an interest for me than just this FVG. This high is of more relevance. Monthly open high, this could have been candidate for monthly open high. Monthly could have been going till there, here. But at the same time, if you have a look, it had the framework for monthly OLHC, had a protected swing below it, monthly open low. So if it would have disregarded this short framework, then I was already thinking, okay, true breakout is there already. Next monthly candles, OLHC is already there. Disrespecting highs, then all-time highs is on the line. And when the next day gaps up, I'm already not this gaps up. I do have already a bullish thesis. Okay, all-time highs are soon on the line because I could not see anything much here. Just price would spend time, then go higher, spend time, then go higher. Could use this as a last line of support, and I did use this to frame longs this day or next day maybe. I did frame NQ or ES, I do not exactly remember, using this relevant swing as well as a last line of support if price manipulates, but price did form a true breakout over here as well. I did frame next day's continuation here as well. I did frame this day with the frame of price displacing through this and lower time frame true breakout over here. Used ES as a framework if I am not wrong. And this day I had this as my objective, I would say, weekly fair value gap, because ultimately my objectives are this, just like for CL's case, my ultimate objective is this, but I'm not expecting all that move in the same day. So I'm just framing continuation with the help of standard deviations or intraday range. Same with here. Ultimate objective is here, but not clear objective. So I'm trying to frame just intraday range, intraday continuation away from it or towards it, right? Oh, आँखों ही आँखों. When did I get off topic? Okay, okay, I was answering this doubt. That's why. Okay, not it would not be completely clear, but you would have gotten a better understanding over this. Depends on the narrative. Every bullish SMT would fail in a bearish market. Every bearish SMT would fail in a bullish market. If narrative is bullish, if ES wants to go all time high, NQ wants to go to all time highs, no protected high would stay protected. Narrative. So you can yes. How do you confirm such a narrative? Like if I do not have a conviction, I would simply wait. Just like how I was waiting with that gold's price action. I just had a recap session on gold's previous week's Wednesday and how I was waiting for CL to give me more clarity in narrative today when I framed that short today. Simply wait for more info. Narrative switch, bro. You invented naya word, bola. You invented new word. Simply don't until and unless you get clarity. Do you think I frame every day? Nope. Wait, I would tell you how much many days I would have avoided. I had the framework these days too long till there, so it was valid to look long here, 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 and you said if it keeps expanding, okay. I did frame this day, but I did not frame this day. Keeps expanding. I did not frame, and I could not see. Okay, I did try to frame this day as well. I did try to frame this day as objective was open. I did not try to frame longs this day. I did not try to frame longs this day. I did frame longs on Friday. Simply wait for more info. Simply wait. Simply stay out until you get proper conviction. I did not frame longs these 2 days. I did frame longs Friday. Proper breakdown was posted in my channel here as well. Why Friday longs when everybody was expecting Friday TJF back inside the range? Proper explanation there. But I did avoid these longing these 2 days in order to frame one quality day. But you would get problem framing quality days if you are framing something every day. Just desperation to trade every day. Ask this thing to UDBag and how I used to tell him that as he is framing every day, taking small wins, big wins, some days big wins, some days small wins, but trading every day. So he would surely get problem in 2 good quality days, which generally come after 7 to 10 days. One day which is too good, and he would get not get comfortable with that too good day, because if you put your energy into bad days, your mind would not be able to process the good day properly. It would doubt that good day as well. So be selective, trade less, simply have more confidence, and simply get clarity, and not try to frame every candle you see. Just frame when you have the framework, and avoid every day price will be printing, but it is not there for you to frame something every day. Let the framework build, give it 3 4 days or give it a week, how much, as much as it demands. Like if I quickly go through here, like for me, where do opportunities lie? Okay, I could have longed this day off of manipulation of this swing, objective being this. Okay, one opportunity. Okay, as I just explained my long on this day, so walking away from it, nothing this day maybe. Then I could have shorted maybe till EQ of previous day's range this day. Then if this day's framework is valid, I would short till here, bearish framework, manipulation of a swing high, right? I would short this day. Then I would look how price reacts there. Okay, kind of long framework. I did take a long. I exactly remember now. Good Josh. Too good of a framework. This was my objective. 5 minute. Nice setup it was. This was my long. Two good frameworks. So I do remember. Quality days when they happen, you do remember them. Okay, I had a fill around there, I guess so. This was my position. Simple, not something much uh, complex, just simple position. Manipulation of daily relevant swing and just daily profile trading away from it. Protected swing to my side, framing continuation away from it. Previous days EQ as an objective, just like how I use this day's EQ to frame this day short, then this day's EQ to frame this day's long till there, and simple entry. Establish reversal displacement away. Continuation entry. Driver aligns. Driver 930 driver forms opposing run. Clean closure through. Immediate entry. Immediate TP. Simple entries. Clean high time frame. But these simple entries don't form every day. They only form when high time frame is clean. And then if I skip, nothing much I could have framed till previous day low. Once EQ of this day's range is already invalidated, then maybe long, maybe not. I do not exactly know, but sure, short, long next day. I do have the framework, and then it goes as well. Just simply don't trade when you don't know. Now, I still don't know anything from the daily chart. Maybe I could have known from the hourly charts. Okay, I could have framed shorts back inside the range off of relevant swing. ERL to IRL, daily IRL as the objective. Okay, now this day I do not exactly know if I would have framed the continuation of this reversal or IRL to ERL kind of framework. But next day I could have been looking to frame it higher, reacting off of internal level. So framing it higher, previous day high would have been a level of relevance. So just anticipate one daily candle from the daily chart, weekly chart, and then just align the low time frames. Then this framework, it is showing aggressive move away from here, closing through opposing candle, still bullish framework. Then this becomes my overall objective. So I could trade next day and the next day as well with the same bullish framework. So this day bullish, this day bullish, this still is open. So I would trade the next day bullish as well. So see how 4 days of bias, and once this gets it, if it shows proper framework, you could short it till previous day low, same framework as it was here, ERL to IRL. See how simple it gets if you incorporate daily chart and not just focus too much on hourly 15-minute 5 minute. Align them with the idea of daily chart. You could have maybe I do not know off of low time frame framework, maybe Friday. Yes, maybe. Let me have a look. Okay, ES had a manipulation there. This was SMT in ES and this objective in ES. I do remember. Asset selection logic. See, no, I am not going into low time frame of every day, but the ones which are worthy, I would go for them. So framing entries around there, around here. Good, Josh. Oh, so simply just trade with the high time frame narrative. You would be better off, and you won't need to complex it much for you. Make it complex. Still kind of bullish framework for me. But NQ had a protected swing, so hourly charts would still determine. So bullish still there. Now wanting to see how it reacts off of there. Would prefer shorting, but would see if it breaks through this on the lower time frame. Shorting could have been worked, but let us see the correlated assets. Mm, Not too good, but yes, still don't know what is happening over there. Low time frames are used there, so enough of examples, I would say, right? But you could have shorted till there at least the next day. Continuation of this reversal, right? Because these are the relevant levels, and these get hit as well. Reversal of here, then framing the next day, continuation till there. And with this framework, I would normally be looking to long, as this is a level away from this. So this is a level I can trust to trade away from, just based off of daily chart. I would normally be looking to frame the next day continuation. EQ as an invalidation. EQ invalidates. I could short maybe till previous day low. Right. So see, how many examples? This was SMT. So this day's daily profile till previous day high, and then these are the times when you don't get to frame every day. Like almost every day you saw me calling out. These were the time I was myself waiting, because this is not an actionable framework for me. Now this is ranging conditions. See? The range is getting smaller and smaller, like previous day's range inside previous day's range, next day much more smaller than previous day, and stuck inside the range. Now I am in a waiting mode. It's only concerned about this, only concerned about this, to see how price reacts there or how price reacts there. Manipulation or breaking through one end. I'm not willing to trade every day here now. I won't execute anything until price reaches there or until price reaches there. It can stay inside as long as it wants. I won't participate. You have to get clarity. Like this, there were 2 days here. One was bank holiday, that's why not visible. I would take advantage of my system if it is presented every day. I would stay out if my system is not presented even for 2 weeks. Like these were 2 days. Previous day manipulation, next day continuation of relevant swing, right? So too many of examples, I would say enough, right? So same framework again, establish swing, opposing objective open, till you can look for continuations. Now this is kinda current range, right? Same scenario here, kinda ranging scenario for me. So I'm more so like leaning over to waiting how price reacts there and how price reacts there. Low time frame framework could say to me I could long tomorrow. There is a SMT there with YM, but I won't pay much attention to it. I would demand two clear daily profile tomorrow if I am to long, because leave apart SMT, this is still a range to me. So I don't prefer like predicting manipulation or true breakout most of the times before they happen, right? Sometimes there would be enough framework, but if you tell me, ask me, I could long tomorrow, but normally this is a ranging condition, non-actionable framework for me. So I would be waiting to see how price reacts there, how price reacts there, simply to frame off of here. But YM has kind of framework. Maybe YM long, I could long YM, but for NQ, due to YM's framework, if the next day's daily profile and the drivers give me clear framework to long, only then I would. Else I would demand two clean framework, or else I would simply wait this for this to get reached. And there is CPI tomorrow, so this ideally gets reached prior to CPI. So kind of actionable framework for me. After this gets hit, after this gets hit. But currently, if you ask me, waiting period, this is for me. I won't try to frame. If it stays inside for 10 days, I won't try to frame. My relevance goes to here, my relevance goes to here. If it stays inside the range for 30 days, I am simply switching to other assets. I do have 2 3 asset types for a reason. If I don't see my system there properly on indices, I would use gold. If I don't see anything on gold, I would use oil. And there is rarely a week where I don't get one or two opportunities properly from the daily chart, combining from all three asset classes, gold, oil, and Q. So that is enough for me. So I went off topic, but was good, I would say. No voice, don't tell me. So for certain cases, when target is met, protected swings can now be considered as relevant swing. Yes, that can be traded to just a normal relevant swing. It is protected till when? That is the point. When you say you are framing NQ using USM, this is kind of correlation, just like how I did. Why gold cut out? You started. I do have the screen recording, brother. Like NQ using ESF as a framework, I explained one more trade of the server owner mask, right? Using that logic. But the main motive of that is to confirm the narrative, right? Get as much clarity in narrative as possible. NQ had proper clean narrative to long till there, but ES previous day high was a relevant level, which could be a concern. So I was using ES as a framework to see if how ES reacts to the previous day high level. Why not? Let me show you to see how ES reacts to the previous day high level. This we had intra-wave protected swing in ES, and these were the relevant swing where a next protected swing could form to frame it lower. NQ had the proper framework to go long. If I show you NQ at the same time, you would 100% tell, okay, you want at least long till there. Minimum, high of the week, all unestablished swings, daily framework too good, and then ultimately till range. But I was waiting to see how price would react in ES around previous day level to frame NQ then with much more conviction in the bullish narrative. Then it displays through it. Reaches there, comes back, shows lack of willingness to return back, and sweeps out a low, forming a protected swing, immediately displacing away. This is kind of failure to manipulation and true breakout scenario to me. Using this as a framework to frame NQ till its objective, because the correlated asset is not framing a reversal at a relevant level where it could have framed, then NQ would reach its ultimate objective, right? And for NQ, I wasn't worried much about all these or these previous day high level or this, because this was a minimum expectation current high of the week, and then ultimately this for getting it now. How I use correlation to my favor, just like I was I would have used correlation to frame different assets here, like if it was a bullish case, like HO had already reached this objective Friday. CL was here, RB was here. They were yet to reach this objective. So I would have wanted to see how HO would have reacted there to frame these two assets long then. But HO instead framed a reversal, and by that time these two assets already have tagged that high. So I could simply frame them from their own structure on framework, and even if these highs weren't tagged, I could still frame them using HO's framework, because the one asset which did tag, how is it reacting there? Correlation goes too deep, but helps as well. Keep it as simple for you and as effective. Be selective in what you trade, then you would get clarity and you would exactly know what to look for, when to wait, when not to. Like most of the things I use are for filtration purposes, filtering out the bad setups. Therefore, most of the times I am less interested than you people to trade this, trade that. This could be the idea. This no, I'm you most of the times listen to me saying I wanna see this, I wanna see that. I am in a waiting period, right? That is a kind of filtration process as well, filtering the bad setups, only taking the quality ones. Going, it is maybe fate. Fate wants you to rewatch the recording. You may have missed something in the NQ's breakdown as well. So God wants you to rewatch the recording from starting with proper focus and not thinking like you already have watched this part, so you would skip, with the logic of watching it like thinking you are watching it first time. and you won't don't have attended the session. Most of the questions or confusion I was having were answered in this session. Yes sir, good Josh. मैं मार भी चलाता अगर वॉइस नहीं होती, ठीक है। अब इसको अच्छी बात है हिंदी समझ नहीं आई है। Not true breakout, but waiting to see how ES reacts there. It could not give true breakout as well. True breakout is what I could have wanted, but it could not give as well. No, I haven't prepared the session for lagging assets. If I want to, I could teach it to you guys in less than 10 minutes. But I want to do it with proper drawings, with proper schematics, and you people would get zero problem. You understanding of you people would be same if I explain it to you with without drawings, without schematics, and with schematics. Because leave apart 10 minutes, I could properly explain it to you in less than 5 6 minutes. But I do want it to be properly kind of organized. You can ask, but I should end this recording first. Okay, guys, this was meant to be gold's breakdown, I guess. No, I haven't still break down gold, but this was me breaking down my CL's today's win, which I took on CL 3 hour position, and then I just went with the flow with the doubts and gave too much info, too good info, I would say as well. So this recording ends here. A bit long session, but worthy session.